video tutorial will tell you how to handle iFrame using Selenium WebDriver and then how we can do the same using Test Odyssey. To begin with, I'll show you how to handle iFrame using Selenium WebDriver. Before we get on to that, I would like to tell you a little bit of what an iFrame is. iFrame is a web page which is embedded in another web page or an HTML document embedded inside another HTML document. iFrame is used to insert content from another source such as an advertisement into a web page. Now, how can you identify iFrames? You cannot just identify them by looking at the web page. You need to do a right click on the element, and if you find an option this frame, then it is an iFrame. Also, you can see the page source, and if you find the tag with name iFrame, then it means that the page has an iFrame. For demonstration purpose, I have picked up snapdeal.com as our sample application, and the scenario that I am going to demonstrate now would be: navigate to snapdeal.com, hover on the sign in button, click on the register, switch to frame, enter mobile number, click on continue, switch back to the parent frame. Now this is snapdeal.com application. We will hover on the sign in, click on the register. Now what you see here is an iFrame. So we would switch the control to iFrame at this point, then enter the mobile number, click on continue, and then switch back to the parent frame. Now how do we do it using the Selenium WebDriver? For demonstration purpose, I will be executing the scenario on the Chrome browser. So I need to set the browser driver path first, then initialize the driver, then load the application under test, which is snapdeal.com. Then I will perform a maximize window operation. The next step would be to find the appropriate locator of the sign-in icon. Now, how do we do that? Firefox comes with add-on tools called Firebug and Firepath. You need to install them. Once you do that, you can see this Firebug symbol on the top right-hand corner of your Firefox browser. Click on that. There is an icon here which will allow you to click on an element and inspect the properties of the element. So click on that, then click on the sign. So once you click on the sign in, you can notice that you get the locator or the CSS selector for the sign in icon. Basically, Selenium uses various types of locators to identify the web elements. Now I use this CSS selector and put that as part of my code snippet here. So every web element is recognized by a particular kind of a selector. So here I have used CSS selector. So similarly, for the next step, you need to click on the register button. So you need to identify the appropriate properties for the register button. Please do so using the Firebug tool. After you do that, we need to do a switch to frame. Selenium has three kind of methods by means of which you can switch to frame. One is by name, the other is by ID, and the third one is by web element. I have used the method which uses the ID of the iFrame. So to switch to frame, and inside this method you have the ID of the iFrame. How do you get the ID of the iFrame? Click on the register. Once this iFrame opens, use the inspector here. Or drop the control on any part in the iFrame. You can notice that here is the iFrame tag which is followed by the ID of the iFrame. So the ID of the iFrame is login iFrame. I have used that as part of my switch to method. Now once the switch to frame operation is done, identify the locator for the mobile number field and then type in the mobile number. Then identify the locator for the continue button, then click on the continue button, then switch back to the parent frame and terminate the Selenium WebDriver. Now this is my code snippet. I will quickly show you how this works when you run it, when you execute the scenario. Our scenario will just start executing now. You can notice that Snapdeal application has opened. It has navigated to snapdeal.com application. Next, it has maximized the window. It will hover on the sign-in. Yes, it has done a hover on the sign-in. After it is done on the hover on the sign-in, it has now opened the clicked on register and the iFrame has opened. It is now typing the mobile number. After that, we will continue to perform a click on continue. Yes, it has clicked on continue and this happens to be my scenario. Next, I will show you how you can run or execute the same handle the iFrame using Test Odyssey. In order to do that, I need to log into Test Odyssey. After you've logged in, you need to go to the Projects tab. Now, for demonstration purpose, I've already created a project and a module under it. So click on the module number. Once you've created a module, you need to go and start designing your test case in Test Odyssey. Click on the test case number. Now we'll start designing the test case in Test Odyssey. This is just the basic test case details. Add all these details and then do a save operation. Next, we move on to capturing the test steps. While you create a project, please ensure that you would have given the application under test as www.snapdeal.com and that loads inside Test Odyssey. Our scenario is to hover on the sign-in. So in order to do that, hover on the sign-in, then do a right click. Provide all the details that Test Odyssey asks you. You need to select a locator type. Once you select a locator type, you can choose from the various locator value options that Test Odyssey throws. I have selected the first one. We are actually doing a hover operation here. So I will select mouse hover as the action. Categorize the test case. Then say capture. This is my first step. The next step would be to click on the register button. Now come to that point and then do a right click. Select the locator type. You can notice that Test Odyssey is throwing an error because multiple web elements have been found for this particular locator value. So I will go ahead and select another locator value. Yes, this is fine. We will move on. The operation that I perform here is click. So click as the action. Select click as the action. Select the category. Then say capture. Your second step is done now. After you click on register, you can notice that the iFrame opens. Yes, the iFrame is open. You can also see that Test Odyssey identifies it as an iFrame by means of this particular symbol. Now click on this symbol. Then provide your step. This is the place where we switch to iFrame. That's step. Select the locator tag. It has an ID, so I will select that. You can notice test2dc automatically throws up the value of ID and the action as well is selected, switch to frame. Just categorize the test case, test step, then say capture. Once you do that, now we've switched control to the iFrame. You can notice that test2dc is refreshing that iFrame. Now you can perform the operations inside the iFrame. You can notice that test2dc has added two steps, one switch to frame and switch back from frame. Your actual operations within the iFrame will lie between these two steps. I want to type the mobile number. My next step, I would select the locator, type, select the value, type will be my action. I would categorize the test case, then say capture. My last step would be to click on the continue button. Click on continue. Select the locator type. Action here would be to click. Categorize the test case. Then say capture. Now this is my test scenario and designing of my test scenario is just completed in test2dc, so I would do a save operation here. My next step would be to associate the data. The only place where data is associated is the mobile number or the email feed here. So I will move on to capturing the data set. Now before we do that, in the capture test steps, you need to ensure that you've closed all the iFrame windows. Let us do that. Let us now navigate to capture datasets page. You can notice that in the capture datasets page, wherever there's data associated, basically that is marked with the green symbol. We will just retrace the scenario, click on the register button. Now after you click on the register button, you have to switch the frame, click on this symbol here. Then you can notice that there's a green border highlighted around the mobile number field. Once you see this, just do a capture. You can notice that the dataset gets captured. Now save this. Close the iFrame windows here. Then move on to the dataset review or the edit tab, where you can just review the data that has been captured along with the steps. So this is our scenario. Now we will just type in a mobile number that needs to go into that field and then do a save operation. Our test case designing in test2dc is now ready. This is how you handle iFrame in test2dc. I will do a replay operation and show you how the scenario executes. So click on the replay button here. You can notice that it has now opened snapdeal.com application. Has also maximized the window. The execution is in progress. We're waiting for test Odyssey to click on the sign in or mouse. Yes, they're done over on the sign in. It has clicked on the register. The iFrame has opened. It is now typing the mobile number. Next, we will just wait for it to click on continue. Has clicked on the continue. This is our scenario. The execution has got completed. So this is how you can handle iFrame using Test Odyssey. I hope you've liked my video tutorial on how you can handle iFrame using Selenium WebDriver and the same scenario, how it can be handled using Test Odyssey. Thank you.